Home Show.
Jeffrey from Houston, Texas has tankless troubles.
Yeah, he's got one up in the attic and it's giving him trouble. He wants to know what's going on with it, Tom. Jeffrey writes, generally, my tankless water heater works well. And he's my master bath on the third of a fourth floor midtown home. The shower works great, no issues, but afterward, my sink runs hot for about 5 minutes, then turns cold. Then after a while, it goes hot again. He says it's almost like they're draining water out of the cold water out of the rest of the house so we can get hot water again. He says, meanwhile, my wife's sink in the same bathroom runs just fine without this issue. So is this a circulation issue? He is perplexed.
Well, the first thing I tell people, first off, it's not the water heater's problem. So people tend to just blame the device that's heating the water. In this case, it's heating water everywhere else, so it's heating the same water that should be going to your sink. So now we're going to isolate it towards the sink. Now, I'm just going to assume offhand, because I can't ask him, that it's a single-handled faucet. If it's a single-handled faucet, it's getting a crossover with cold water and hot water. And sometimes what happens when it starts to cross over, it'll do that. It'll get lukewarm. And then when it goes to hot again, it's because the rubber bushings and stuff inside the cartridge kind of expanded and went back to doing what it was supposed to do and blocking the cold water from coming in. So I suspect it's going to be the faucet issue. It's not going to be anything on the water heater. Don't take it personally. It's not out to get you. It's just probably a new cartridge change is what I would think.
So is that how you'd troubleshoot this? You'd change the cartridge out and see if that solves the problem?
What I would do if I was going to troubleshoot this is I would turn the water off to that particular faucet. You have stops underneath the sink where you turn the hot and the cold off, and then go around and test every faucet everywhere through the house, showers, tubs. You know, it's got to run a little while if it's a big house to get the cold water out of there, but it should get hot and stay consistently hot. If everything is working, then I would go back to that faucet and I would just open the hot side and not the cold side and keep that shut and then turn it on. And I think you're going to get hot water constantly. And then if you turn the cold water on and it starts to go back and forth into that lukewarm situation, it's because that faucet has a problem and it's usually a cartridge on a single handle.
Okay. All right.
But don't start changing the water heater. I'm sorry. Just that's too much money.
No, don't do that. No, that would be the expensive way to find out that's not the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have? But you know what? I'll tell you this. What he could do is, I mean, he's here in Houston, so he could
call Abacus Plumbing. Yes.
And Alan will send a plumber over there, and I guarantee you, lickety split, they'll get to the bottom of it. So, all right,
no plumbers. They would go do that.
Yeah, you got a question? Go ahead. You can click on that blue Ask Tom button right there on our homepage, and you can send us a question. As you can see, you can also send us a video. Either way, we'd love to answer your questions because Tom and I post a new one of these every day, 7 days a week at HomeShowRadio.com, our YouTube channel, of course, on our Facebook page.